Extra, extra, read all about it. The Windy City is host to a structured settlement planning event hosted by Einstein Structured Settlements. So says Crains Chicago Business in December of 2014. Hi, I am John Derer, the Structured Settlement Watchdog, and bringing you information about an event that, well, seems a little suspect. Let's examine it a little bit further. So you have a Windy City Structured Settlement Planning event that is sponsored or put on by a group called Einstein Structured Settlements. Einstein Structured Settlements, known for its elaborate amount of extensive amount of inaccurate content, the use of false testimonials or fake testimonials that were paid for, court scraping, and all sorts of other stuff. They've already held themselves out as settlement planners in New York State recently on the internet. So here we have an event where they're claiming to be settlement planners, and or they're hosting something for the benefit of settlement planners. The details of which are that this is supposed to take place at the Holiday Inn, 506 West Harrison Street, Chicago, Illinois, between 3 and 5, and get this, $675 for 2 hours for that action-packed 2-hour meeting and a couple of finger foods, perhaps. You know, if you go to the NSSTA conference, you can pay $675 and you might get 3 days worth of stuff and a bunch of lunches and everything else. So why would you go to something like this? But let's just say you happen to decide you wanted to go and you wanted to register. What happens? Well, as you can see here, you click through and you get to the Einstein Structured Settlements website. And what happens? In that website, you will see it creates the details, or it shows the details. And I'm sorry for the shaky camera work here. But it shows that it's between December 22nd, between 3 and 5. Here's the key thing about the posting of this. It says tickets will go on sale 2 weeks before the event. Well, the tickets are now available, which means that this was posted at some point or after the 8th of December by deduction. So the bottom line is, as you can see right here, it talks about the Einstein pitch about selling your structured settlement. There's no registration form, no nothing. This appears to be potentially a lead generation exercise. So I contacted the general manager of the hotel, the Holiday Inn and Suites in Chicago at that address, and he confirmed with me that there was no such event involving Einstein Structured Settlements at that particular hotel, or any such event at that hotel at that particular point in time. And certainly the general manager of the hotel would know. So the bottom line is, what is this all about, and why would Einstein do this? Why would they hold themselves out potentially as settlement planners when the entity does not have a license, or as best as we could see, and they're not even registered to do business in either Chicago or New York, which are the two states that we've seen where they've claimed to be involved in settlement planning? I think it's absolutely business suicide. Because if we were to contact the Secretary of State in those states, or contact the insurance commissioner or the local FINRA regulator, I think there might be some issues. So that's one part of it. The other part of it, as far as a lead generation exercise, and this should be something that's of a concern to settlement planners. There's no secret that members of the structured settlement secondary market and their search engine optimization people are trying to capture just about every keyword that there is under the sun for structured settlements. It's no secret that the pay-per-click rates for structured settlement are in excess of $250 a click. So every Tom, Dick, and Harry is trying to do something. Now, is Einstein Structured Settlements a Tom, Dick, and Harry? The jury is still out, but they certainly are not credible as advisors. We don't see any credentials of anybody. In fact, they don't even list anybody, no president, no salespeople, no nothing. We know that they've had an affiliation with a Washington, D.C. based company. However, again, unlicensed. So the question is, are they generating leads that they can then sell back to people who are settlement planners at a cost? We know that the company is one of the biggest brand jackers in the industry. They write posts where they ask whether your company is a scam or legit, so that if anybody searches for your company name and scam, their name is going to come up and they'll capture that traffic. And then they might very well be selling those leads to your competitors. Now, in 2014, they had a deal with Fairfield Funding, as we posted on the internet just a few days ago. So, one way or another, this should be a scary thing to look at for people who are in the structured settlement or settlement planning space. That you have somebody with no credentials, or little if any credentials, who is out there holding themselves out as settlement planners or sponsoring structured settlement planning events that don't seem to have any credibility themselves. And the other thing is, if you are somebody in the structured settlement secondary market, is this the way you want your industry to look? Because it really looks like crap when you see stuff like this. And Einstein is not alone in doing this stuff. They just happen to be very, very aggressive right at the moment, and we'll continue to highlight some of their business practices as time goes on. Read more about our commentary concerning Einstein on our blog, structuredsettlements.typepad.com. Thank you. I'm John Dare, the Structured Settlement Watchdog, signing off for now.